and welcome back to our 16-day challenge, Building a Life of Change. I am so excited to continue to move forward and progress with these different areas that we've been talking about. We have touched on a couple of things. One, we've talked about who you are as a person. We've identified maybe some personality things going on, right? So we've touched on all of that. We talked about where you are. Where are you in your different relationships? Where are you in your connections with family and friends? Where are you even from a spiritual aspect? Where are you with God even? There's so much we've touched on just in looking at these things to figure out where do we want to change, right? So do we want to change some relationships? Do we want to change where we are and as far as our personality? We have documented some things, we've written some things down. At least that's what I hope you're doing. I'm hoping you're going and downloading those materials because it's going to be super, super crucial here soon. I really think it's beneficial for you if you're writing all these things down. So please make sure if you're not downloading the material, at least be writing down or following kind of what I've asked you to do, because it's going to be super crucial, especially when we get to the very end of this series, or the end of the challenge. When we have our last series, series 6, we're going to be talking about a couple of things. All right, so we are getting into series 4, why do I struggle? When you're going through change or trying to figure out ways to change, we can find ourselves in a place where we are really struggling. We have these moments where we're like, okay, I cannot figure this out, or I cannot get beyond this point. Prime example from personal experience. I continue to struggle with getting up early, like I want to at 4:30. I've been doing better. So because I've been trying to do this challenge, I'm getting better at that for this reason. And I shared it in my routine video I did in October. I talk about I have 5 non-negotiables now for my morning routine. And in order to do that, I have to get up earlier. So for me, one of my struggles is getting up earlier so that I can put in a workout. And the reason I want to do the workout earlier, first thing in the morning instead of when I get home, is one, when I get home, I want to spend that time with my family or do things around the house that need to get done, and just puts me in a really good headspace mentally. It just sets the mood for my day. That is a struggle for me of getting up early. And that's what we're going to look at. We're going to look at why do we struggle? What do we struggle with? And then how do we combat that? How do we push on that? How can we overcome that? So today, when we're talking, we're going to talk about excuses. Raise your hand if you always come up with an excuse for a reason why something can't happen. For me, I'll go back to the getting up early. It's always, I'm so tired, or the kids had me up. You know, I can easily come up with excuses for the reason to hit that snooze button and keep it going and just keep sleeping. But to be honest, it only gives me 30 more minutes of sleep. It's not really any benefit to me whatsoever. Here's the thing, we are our worst enemies, okay? We stand in the way of our own change. We do. We can continue to put it off on various people. We can continue to say, well, it's because of this person or it's because of that person. At the end of the day, change is a mindset and change is up to us as individuals, okay? I can tell you I have made up every excuse in the past of why I shouldn't change certain things about myself. And I've shared some of those with you. So for example, when it comes to who I am, this personality that I have, I've used that as an excuse to say, this is just who I am. Well, that's not really good. If I want to change some things about myself just to continue to make that statement of this is just who I am, people have to accept that. I do not agree with that any longer. I want to change. And if I want to have better relationships, okay, so this is how this is all connecting. If I want to have better relationships with people, with my family, with coworkers, whatever the case may be, I cannot be harsh and I cannot be so direct. And if I do, there's a way that I can do that. I have to really navigate that change for myself, because it doesn't mean that I always have to be this way. I don't have to continue to have that personality, even though that's who I am. I can still find out a way for that personality to change so that it helps me with where I am in different avenues of my life. So I've made up every excuse that I could think of in any given day when I was combating that change that I didn't want to go through. But who suffers? All right, who suffers when you're the one saying, I'm not going to change, who I am is who I am, or I don't need to be better for my husband or my children, I don't need to change this, or whatever. At the end of the day, who suffers? Definitely you. You are standing in your own way of seeing a bigger, brighter future if you're refusing to change. If you're refusing to build your relationships, if you're refusing to let go of negativity and things like that, that's you suffering. But then also the people you're around will suffer. I had to come to a reality, especially when I became a mom and especially as my children have gotten older. My affect and how I react is developing who my children are becoming. They're young, they're 2 and 4. My reaction to things is teaching them how to react to things. And I have to accept and understand that's the end result of me. We're going to do an exercise, okay? I want you to write these things down. This only again works if you're brutally honest with yourself. First question, what are your excuses for yourself? I'll give you a couple of examples. Do we blame it on time, fear, finances, energy, lack of sleep, inconsistency? Maybe that's your excuse. Write it all down, okay? So what are your excuses? It can be one word, it can be sentences, but list out what your excuses are, okay? Now, second question, and I want you to give it some thought, and I'll give you some examples to help you out. What can you do different to eliminate these excuses? What can you do different? Put some thought into it. I'll give you some examples. Say your excuse is time, okay? I don't have enough time because I work an 8-hour day, or I work night shifts, so I don't have the time. One of the things you can do if your excuse is I don't have enough time, well, what are you spending your time on? Where are you spending your time at? Let's say finances. Let's say your excuse is, well, I don't have the finances that I want to start a small business or buy my dream home or whatever. Okay, get a plan. Get a budget plan. Get a budget tracker. Something to help establish and show you how can you change in your finances. My point is this. For every excuse, there is a way that you can work through it. There is a way that you can overcome those excuses and put them behind you. And I'll leave you with this as we wrap up. Excuses pave the way for lack of effort. That's all excuses are. They set you up to give you a reason to not try. They give you the justification you're looking for to not move forward, to not experience change, to not overcome those obstacles and those barriers. Excuses give you what you want to no longer try. I am so excited. I'm just telling you right now, be ready, because the tough love is going to come so much more. And it's truly out of a place of love and care for you. It's not to be negative or bring you down. It's to challenge you. That's what my intention is, to challenge you to change and to eliminate the obstacles in your life and prove that, you know what, you can do it. All right. I will see you guys in a few days. Please make sure you're subscribed if you're not, so you can see these videos more, notifications so you know when the videos are coming. And more importantly, check out that website and keep on with this challenge. You're doing a great job. Bye. So catch me if I fall.